It is finally starting to feel like summer here in the mountains, and as the world begins to wake back up and things become busier again, it can feel really exciting, but also a little bit overwhelming for us introverts. And so I wanted to reaffirm that it is okay if some days all you have the energy to do is sit back and watch as your thoughts twist around in your mind. It is not our job to judge them or try and change them. It's our job to be witness to them, to recognize them, and to recognize that we are not our thoughts. An example of this is that we can sit and choose to think about anything in the world. We can think about traveling the world or about our biggest fears, but when we open our eyes, we are still here in this moment, separate from those thoughts. So anytime you feel the density of being attached to your mind or the things that you think or the judgments your mind places on you, know that this is not who you are. Who you are is a soul witnessing, a soul lying witness to everything in this life. So you are just on a journey through this life. Be gentle with yourself. Good morning, everybody. It is currently the weekend and I am so ready for it. I am going to be spending the day taking care of my body, doing some self-care, and then taking myself outside. My boyfriend is back home. He was away visiting family and now he's back, and we are going to be spending the day at one of my favorite spots on the river, just swimming and laying out in the sun and just spending some time alone in nature. So I get a lot of questions on what I do for my skincare routine, what I do for my hair care routine. So I'm going to show you guys that in the first part of the video. And just rise with you guys. So I am going to do breakfast first. I always try and eat within 30 minutes of waking up. I wake up really hungry, so either I get woken up by needing to pee or I get woken up by my stomach. So I usually wake up immediately and do those things before I drop into a meditation. That's just what works for me. Some people like to meditate on an empty stomach, but for my hormone health, I like to eat first, and then I go into a mindful movement and a meditation, because movement typically prepares your body to be slow. And so that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. So I'm going to show you guys what I have for breakfast. Okay, I'm going to boil these eggs that I got from the chickens this morning. I'm going to soft boil them so that the whites are cooked, but the yolks are still runny. This is because you can basically damage all of the antioxidants and some of the essential fatty acids, like the omega-3s that are in eggs, when you cook the yolks. But if you don't cook the whites, then you're not able to absorb the proteins from them. And the whites actually block your ability to absorb the biotin if they're eaten raw. So you want to cook your whites, but try and leave your eggs runny. So that's why you always see me eating them sunny side up. But today I feel like hard boiling them and then, or soft boiling them and then eating them with some fruit and some honey. And I'm probably going to eat 3 of these because 3 of them gives you about 20 grams of protein, and you need about 30 to maintain blood sugar. So I'm going to probably combine them with some form of nut to make sure I get all of my protein in the morning. I kind of do it backwards. I know a lot of people bring the water to a boil, but I'm lazy, so I stick them in and just allow it to come to a boil. And then once it's at a boil, then I will leave it for like a minute or 2 and then take them out and run them under cold water and then peel them. And typically they're perfect. There's no science behind it. This is just what works for me. I also have some water. I drank some already, but I'm going to drink some more. I love to add Celtic sea salt into my water because Celtic sea salt has a lot of the essential minerals that your body needs. And typically our waters, when they're filtered extensively, it strips them of the minerals within them and strips them of the ions within the water that allows our body to grab hold of it cellularly and actually absorb the water and become hydrated. And so most of the time when we drink water, we are actually dehydrating ourselves because that water then needs to grab onto the minerals already in our body to actually hydrate us. And so by adding some Celtic sea salt or some normal sea salt into your water, you can absorb it a lot better. Another hack is just to like put it on your tongue and then drink it. And then you're a lot more hydrated. That's a hack. It's like a DIY Gatorade. You don't need those super gimmicky things. You just need salt and water. I love to think of food as medicine. I love to think of food as what can I add in to support my body constantly to tell my body that I love it through the things that I put into it. And so just waking up and telling my body that she is so nourished with foods that are super colorful tells my body right away that she is safe and taken care of, and that she has access to all of these different medicines within the foods. And each color of the rainbow has a different subsection of polyphenols and antioxidants that it can offer to our body. Like orange foods have beta carotene, and red foods and purple foods all have their own subsections of vitamins and antioxidants that they offer to our bodies. And so it's so wonderful to just try and eat the rainbow every single day and make it like a fun game with yourself. And when you're able to start off your day with multiple different colors, you're already off to a really good start. And then also, each of these foods has their own unique fibers that they feed the microbes in our gut, and we're in like a symbiotic relationship with those microbes in our gut. They break down the fiber that we cannot digest, and they free up these secondary metabolites that we then benefit from tenfold. So like short chain fatty acids, which then act as a super anti-inflammatory agent in our body and fight things like neurodegenerative diseases, inflammation, chronic pain, things like that. And so eat more color, eat more veggies, eat more fruit, and make it fun. Just eat what you enjoy and just try and eat the rainbow every single day. So on that note, I have oranges and I have blackberries. And blackberries have anthocyanins, which are the antioxidants that make foods purple and blue. And those are extremely powerful at fighting inflammation. I talk about it, I think, in every single video. But basically, anthocyanins help support neurodegenerative diseases as well, cognitive health, things like that, and also just fighting cellular damage from oxidative stress. And so you want to be eating a lot of different purple and blue fruits and vegetables like purple sweet potatoes, blueberries, blackberries, purple radishes, things like that, because they are supporting our body at fighting off cellular stress from radiation, from pesticides, from chemicals in our environments, from pollution, from all of those things. And so just telling your body that you love it by giving it all of the healing capacity that you can from the foods that you're eating, because I truly believe that food is medicine, and your body will believe it when you start to feel it too. Okay, I'm also adding in some raw local honey and raw local bee pollen. Bee pollen will help you essentially just fight off springtime allergies, and it also is a complete protein with all of the essential minerals and essential amino acids that your body needs, because that's how the bees fuel themselves. So it's truly a complete food. You will get everything that you will ever need from it. It is nature's multivitamin. So some local bee pollen, just magic, in a jar, and then some local raw honey. So my family has bees, but we also support local bee keepers because we use a lot of honey for different herbal remedies and things like that. And so we get huge jars of it, and this one is like literally already almost gone because we use it for so many different things. I think honey is one of my major food groups. And then I'm also going to have 2 medjool dates with coconut oil inside of them, just for some healthy fats. One thing I have not mastered is the art of peeling eggs. I don't know if I ever will. I just feel like it's so hard. I know you can like break the lining on the bottom, but I'm always so scared to just crack the egg altogether, so I just don't. And I even put it in a bath with ice afterwards, and it's still really hard for me. Anyways, sometimes I can get it, but 90% of the time it looks like this, so. Okay, so this is breakfast. I'm just going to enjoy it outside in the sunshine before I get started on the rest of my fun weekend. One thing that I love to do, me and my boyfriend practice this, is to take 5 deep belly breaths before every single meal and to express gratitude before every single meal for all of the components of the meal. And it really does nourish my mind, body, and spirit on a whole nother level when I do that. So I really encourage you guys to do that as well. I'm grateful for the chickens that laid these eggs so that I may be nourished deeply by them. I'm grateful for all of the hands that went into the growing of these foods that are going to bring vibrancy to my body. I'm grateful for the bees for spending their lives creating the sweetness that is going to take care of my body. I am grateful to everybody who transported this food so that it could get to my plate, and most of all, I'm grateful to God and to Mother Earth for being the source of love that allows me to be here today. And yeah, amen. Okay, go and nourish yourself with a yummy snack today. Okay, most of my questions are always what I do for my skincare, what I do for my hair care. I'm going to do a whole video explaining like everything that I do for my hair and skin, but I wanted to show you guys my simple morning skincare routine that I do every single day. And so I always wash my face with raw honey because it has a bunch of enzymes in it that essentially nourish our skin and clean our skin without stripping our skin of its natural oils. And it helps to support the natural pH of our skin. A lot of face washes can damage that. And so typically start with I don't even wet my skin. I just put it directly onto my skin and I let it sit there for about a minute. Sometimes it's hard to keep your hair out of your face during this process, but mine is kind of crystallized, which makes it a little bit easier. It doesn't drip off your face as much, which is nice. But this is actually what Cleopatra did. She cleaned her skin with raw honey, and you only need about a teaspoon, and you can just rub it against your skin, across your skin. And it's nice because you can even eat it. I always say that if you can't eat your skincare, then what are you doing? Because what you put on your skin is just as important as what you put in your body. So this is what I look like, and I just let it sit for about a minute. Once it has done its thing and just sat on my face for a minute or two, I then just wash it off. And then after I rinse it off, I typically just kind of pat my face dry. You want your skin to be still slightly damp. And then once I pat my skin dry and it's still slightly damp, I put on some organic rosehip oil, which is really rich in vitamin E, and it's just really nourishing for the skin. And the reason you want your skin still slightly damp is because the water is what's going to hydrate your face, while the oil is going to moisturize your face. And so the water helps the oil get pulled into your skin and just absorb a lot better. So you get that nice like glowy look to yourself. And that's it. That is my everyday skincare routine. I know you guys wanted probably something a little bit more elaborate, but that's literally what I do every single day and every single night. Sometimes I will exfoliate, but that's pretty simple. And then I will go in with a dry brush. I will follow a lymphatic drainage sheet to make sure that I'm dry brushing in the right areas. You want to open up, it's called the dermis, and then move towards your heart, but actually towards your dermis. That's what I've learned. I went to a lymphatic drainage workshop and that's what I learned. So I'm going to dry brush and that'll be my skincare routine. Makeup wise, I typically don't wear makeup on the day-to-day, but if I do, it's by MG Naturals, and I really like them. And then I will wear mascara when I'm going to work. Today, I'm not going to put it on because I am going to swim, but I really like the 100% pure brown mascara. It smells like chocolate because it has cocoa butter in it. And then like perfume wise, I will use Holy Water. It is by one of my friend's brands called The Fruit and Seeds. You can go and find her at thefruitandseeds.com, and it's basically just a mix of essential oils, and it smells heavenly. Like it smells so good. And then also, if I'm going outside and I want sunscreen, I will use this by Via Nature. It is a tallow and zinc sunscreen, and it's basically just organic grass-fed beef tallow, organic extra virgin olive oil, organic shea butter, organic beeswax, and then non-nano zinc oxide. And that zinc will help just block the UV index rather than chemically block it. It's a physical blocker, which is a lot better for our body. So yeah, and that's what it looks like. It will leave like a white cast on your skin, but it's a lot better than having chemicals absorb into your body and into the waterways. So use zinc if you're going to use sunscreen. And then deodorant wise, I really love this deodorant by Primally Pure. It is the vanilla citrus scent, and it also has non-nano zinc oxide in it, which helps to essentially just like block smell, but it's also made with arrowroot powder to absorb sweat, not block sweat, because you want to keep sweating. Sweating is good for you. Coconut oil to act as an antimicrobial, because the microbes are what's creating the smell, and then baking soda as well to do that, and then a mix of various essential oils, and it smells so good. And this is what it looks like. So you just rub it on underneath your arms. But yeah, so I am going to go and get my yoga stuff on and then go outside and do some yoga in the sunshine, and then probably go on a run. And then I'm going to go to the plant nursery because there's a bunch of organic starts that they just got, and I want to pick some up for my garden. These mornings, I've been sitting down to meditate and refusing to get up until my whole entire being is in a state of love, completely obsessed with this life. And so you'll find me sitting down, planting my hands and feet on the earth, taking a deep belly breath and imagining those breaths gathering every single anxiety, every single heavy narrative that is weighing heavy on my heart, and then exhaling, imagining sending those anxieties to the earth to hold, imagining her helping me carry the weight, because I know that she always is. I know that she was always there to support me and to ground me, and I feel how gracious she is to even offer this help to help me take these anxieties and accept them as a gift. And I feel her feeling honored to hold me like any mother truly is, and I see her plant these anxieties as seeds, offering their flowers as pollination for the butterflies in my stomach, now fluttering against my heart, asking her to open and offer their fruits to nourish my now open mind. So every morning I commit to planting down, reconnecting, and breathing while I feel the expansion that it is to be a human. The act of gardening has always been something that has been extremely grounding for me. I definitely feel the magic in the reciprocal relationship that I'm tending and building with the earth, and it's so amazing to watch as I cultivate a space for both myself and other beings to find peace, like the pollinators and the ladybugs and the bees. And while I offer them food, they pollinate it and in turn offer me nourishment as well. And all the while, we are both tending to the earth and healing her soils and contributing to sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. And it's just such a beautiful process to be a part of. So I definitely recommend growing a garden, whether big or small, and offering these things to your body, to the pollinators, and to the earth. One of my favorite things about foraging is the way that the plants naturally attune us to the seasons. Elderflower is a very cooling herb, and it pops up in the late springtime and early summer, which helps our bodies acclimate to this new oncoming heat of the summer months. It is also a really beneficial herb for fighting off springtime allergies, which is really sweet, and I've had a lot of fun just implementing it into my routine. And I've also been utilizing yarrow a lot because yarrow is also very cooling, and it's also very antimicrobial and bacterial, so I've been using it topically on my face, which has been a really sweet addition. So I just found this log draped across the river, and I sat on it with my ankles in the river just to ice my ankles after my run earlier in the day and fight off any inflammation that popped up. It is one of my favorite things to do, just to effortlessly accept the healing attributes that nature has to gift to us, and just be grateful and express gratitude and accept all of these gifts graciously, because I know that she just effortlessly wants us to accept them. And so I just sat here feeling very grateful for nature and the life that I live. I just walked down to the river, and I was planning on foraging yarrow to make a bitter tincture, and I was dreaming up elderflower, and I have a spot about an hour away where I used to forage elderflower a lot at this time of the year, and I was just thinking I would have to kind of make the trip to go forage it right now. But while I walked down to just this random curve on the river that I rarely come to, I looked out of the corner of my eye. There's no yarrow, but there was a ton of elderflower. Well, there was one tree of elderflower, so I picked about a cup of it just because I don't want to over harvest from the tree just because I want to make sure that the bees have some elderflower to pollinate and the butterflies, and I also wanted to make sure that I left enough so that they do turn into elderberries come fall. So I'm going to make some elderflower sun tea and then make lemonade out of that. I made an elderflower lemonade about 2 years ago and I continue to dream about it. And so if you have elderflower, fresh elderflower local to you, I really recommend making this elderflower lemonade. I will put the recipe in the comments below. After foraging, I went back home and picked up my boyfriend and a picnic that I packed for the both of us and took us to one of my favorite swimming holes that I grew up going to. And it's just such a sweet feeling getting to share the places that you call home with the people that you love. And it's also just such a sweet feeling to connect with people so deeply in this way out in nature. And so we spent the afternoon off of our phones disconnecting. I know that the both of us can tend to feel very overwhelmed and overstimulated with working online and just living in this technological, very busy existence that humans do now live in, and that's okay, but it is also really important for me to spend days off of my phone, away from technology, and to set boundaries with myself. And so we spent the afternoon just eating good food, laying on the rocks, diving into the icy cold water, and basking in the sun, and just repeating that cycle. We also found a local spring, and we filled up some on our way home, we stopped at a local spring to fill up on some hydrating, mineral-rich water, and then my siblings were coming over to watch a movie that we projected on a sheet against the house, and we had a very wholesome evening at home. Every single moment holds an infinite amount of possibilities, and I absolutely love this aspect to living this human experience and knowing that I get to choose my perception of the world and I get to choose how I interact with the natural world. And it's such a genuine reminder to know that we are nature, and you do not have to go escape to some grand natural landscape. You have all of the elements within you, and so you can act as that reminder for all of the people in your life that we are nature, and we deserve the slowing down, and we deserve the reconnection, and we deserve to live in harmony with the natural rhythms and the natural seasons of this earth and those that take part within our bodies. And so with that, I hope that this video inspired you to go outside and spend some time in nature, spend some time reconnecting to your breath and setting intentions for how you want to live this life, what you want to bring into this world, and what you want to cultivate with this one precious life that you have. And I just wanted to say that I love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful for you guys being here, and I look forward to reconnecting again in a video soon. I love you. Take a deep belly breath, and remember that you are nature. You are not apart from nature. See you soon. Bye.